Hi, this is Jeff with Heating Green, and today I'm excited. I've gotten the shipment for my Fuji Floor, and we have 5 mats in total. Each one of them is about almost 3.5 by 6 feet, and so I wanted to walk you through the installation process for how to put them together. It's pretty straightforward. They actually you don't have to glue them in place or anything like that. But what we do have to do is cut them out to fit the room and then essentially wedge them into place. And so there's a few things that we'll need to do, both to measure and cut the mats, and then also to account for some tolerances with the trim and some other pieces. So I'll explain those in a little bit more detail, but just wanted to give you a high-level overview, and we'll get to it. Just to show you, we've gone ahead and cut the trim to allow the Fuji Floor to fit underneath. And we have 2 mats pushed together. The room isn't perfectly square, so there's actually a gap here on one side that I'll just have to cover with a baseboard, but gone ahead and made these square, and then cutting this mat lengthwise, and then the finished edge always has to go against the finished edge. So the cut side will always be against the wall. You don't want to have a cut side against a finished edge. So we'll go ahead and get measuring on this and cutting it with a straight edge. So right now we're marking it at 34 inches and 3/4 to go ahead, and we measured on both sides because sometimes there's a little bit of variance. It's not perfectly square. And then what we'll go ahead and do, because I don't have a yardstick or a straight edge, is going to go ahead and just DIY here, use a mat that I have to connect the dots. So right now we are cutting the mat and going over a couple times with the straight edge to score it and then to cut deeper on each cut, and just taking our time going, using the straight edge there to help guide the knife. And cutting as straight down as possible so that it doesn't cut at an angle. You want to make sure that's as perpendicular to the mat as possible. And just take your time. Alright, so we're down to cutting the last 2 mats, and we want to get these to fit in here into the area that is left. And it's a little bit of a game of Tetris and trying to figure out what's the best way to configure these. And the quickest way that I was thinking was to cut them like this and run them perpendicular to these mats. But I don't think that's the best solution, and the reason why is that you'll notice that the grooves run one direction on the mat. And to be congruous, just for symmetry and for aesthetics, I want those to be parallel with the grooves of the mats that we already laid. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut the end off this mat so that it fits and it continues. Cut the end off this side and put it on another one, and then cut the end off my last mat and put them. So they'll just be running in tandem with the mats that are already in place, and all the grooves will be parallel. So that's the plan, and we're going to go ahead and cut those and get them installed. We've gone ahead and finished the Fuji Floor, and it looks amazing. Go ahead and show you. These are all the pieces that we cut to go ahead and continue. It took a total of 5 tiles to make this happen. And yeah, it's really, really comfortable, and it's really well insulated. It'll help to retain a lot of the infrared heat that I'm going to add into here next. So the next step on the list, I'm going to go ahead and get the infrared heater set up. I'm going to go ahead and clean the mirrors. These were a purchase from the local restore. They're about $5 a piece. Just need to clean them up a little bit, and then I'll move on to some of the other fixtures that I'll do to create the ambiance for the room.